Hey guys, welcome to Motorides. My name is Amit and today we are with Vikas Jhabakh and he's head Benelli India operations. And today we are at this very beautiful resort called Malhar Machi, and the view here is absolutely amazing. As you can see on the side, there's a dam and it's completely serene. We had a wonderful day riding, and the event was Benelli Imperiale 400, which is supposed to shoot through the stratosphere in terms of volumes. If my experience as a motoring journalist is something to go by, because this motorcycle hits the sweet spot slam bang. And we are going to talk with Vikas today about his plans for India. And my first question to you would be, what are the expectations with the Benelli Imperiale 400? Are there any volumes that you probably can share with us?
So the Benelli Imperiale 400 is a very important part of our portfolio. It's a bike we've been working on very hard for the last 4 years. So I'm happy to hear that we're able to come up with something that you already like so much. Definitely we think this will be the volume driver for us going forward. The market size for this is close to 60 to 70,000 motorcycles per month in India right now. And we will look to scale up operations post BS6, but we have good supply coming in for BS4 as well. So I won't say any immediate target on numbers right now.
What's the installed capacity right now?
So at our plant we can do up to 40,000 units right now.
Per month?
No, that's for the year.
Okay.
But once we hit that, we already have plans for setting up a secondary plant.
Okay.
So that's already in the works.
And apart from that, which models for Benelli are doing the best at this point in time?
So I think this is actually the best part about the Benelli portfolio. You know, we are not overly dependent on the performance of any particular bike. The 300s, 302, TRKs, Leoncinos, they all, the 600i of course, the 4-cylinder, they all have their own separate customer base out there, and currently no particular singular product contributes to more than 20% of our overall
So that's
thing.
a very good healthy spread.
Very good healthy spread. We are acquiring customers who want different kind of biking experiences. However, I think that will probably change when the Imperiale comes in, where we expect it to become the bulk of our sales.
What is the differentiation that a Benelli motorcycle makes as compared to other premium motorcycles that are there in the market? So for you, as someone who's driving Benelli in India, what is most differentiating element, the most differentiating aspect of Benelli motorcycles for India?
Sure. So, you know, at Benelli India, we are very mindful of giving good quality bikes. So obviously that is something that we don't compromise in. At the same time, we want to be able to make bikes that can be affordable and can be enjoyed by wider audiences. We don't aspire to make a bike that becomes very difficult for large number of people to afford.
Right.
So we look to make good quality bike, value for money for our customers. So a lot of our bikes, if you see, are a very easy upgrade for someone who's upgrading from maybe a 250cc motorcycle out there without having to break the bank too much. Obviously the exhaust note of a Benelli is something that I don't need to talk twice about. That is definitely, I think, our USP. I think it's very easy to tell when a Benelli bike is going past you. So even in the Imperiale, this is something that we have been able to bring the Benelli DNA into that motorcycle. That's what we're most proud of.
Talking about the value for money and affordability part of your motorcycles, when you look at motorcycles like, say, the TRK, it's a very substantial motorcycle. And, you know, when you are riding a TRK, everybody thinks of you as someone who's riding a 10 lakh rupee or 15 lakh rupee motorcycle. So there's a lot of metal and plastic, and, you know, a lot of elements gone into it. So by weight itself, if you look at it, it's a, you know, substantial machine. But when you look at the price, you know, it's not all that much. So what goes into bringing the prices down for motorcycles which are supposed to be premium and were supposed to be exotic at one point in time? So what has gone into bringing the prices down to a level where, you know, there's a difference of a good 2-3 lakh rupees vis-a-vis other similar products in the market? Sure.
So I mean, it's a lot of different factors that go into the pricing of a product. I think the one that makes the most difference is the fact that we have invested in a assembly manufacturing facility in Hyderabad, and we bring in most of our bikes in the CKD format, which has the lowest custom duty of 15%. Apart from that, there are a lot of efficiencies that we are constantly working on. That's what allowed us to bring down the pricing of our 300 and the 302 also a couple of months back, and we are constantly looking at ways to bring our products at a price point where we believe that it is a sweet spot for the market.
This market seems to be very complicated for a lot of international players, especially in the car market. If you go and see big players like global powerhouses like Volkswagen have come here, tried their luck, and they have not really been successful. So what exactly is the issue with this market which needs to be addressed, and in your understanding, what makes this market so challenging?
So, I think India as a automotive market, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheeler, I think needless to say it has tremendous potential. The volumes are already there. I know this year has been a little slow with a blip in the market, but I think it's just one-off year. And I think that's why you see so many international manufacturers wanting to enter India and participate in the growth story that is there. Benelli is no different. I strongly believe that we as consumers are slightly different from consumers globally. We don't just buy into the product based on pure specs. For us, it's a very important decision. I think apart from buying your house or jewelry, I think buying an automobile is probably the third most important decision an Indian takes today. So you're buying into the entire lifestyle. You're buying into the brand. You're buying into the service experience, and I think that is what is very important for brands to become successful in India. And this is what something we are concentrating as well in Benelli India, is to give the entire experience around brand Benelli. We spent the last 1 year concentrating on improving our after sales service to our customers. We brought our service cost down, we brought the cost of spare parts down, we're increasing the number of outlets across the country. We are increasing our dealer footprint. We've already gone up to 25, 26. We want to go up to 100 outlets very soon. And we also want to finish this off by building the entire riding community around this brand. And all of this sits around the product. It's not just a product. And I believe that when we are able to give this kind of a 360-degree lifestyle quotient to the customers, then they start buying into your brand.
So what's the growth trajectory that you are prophesying? Like, do we see a twofold, threefold growth, or like it's going to be two-digit, especially for a brand like Benelli and with products like Imperiale? The growth opportunities are quite huge because till now the volumes are very limited. Once you get into the mass market, the volumes are much higher there. So in terms of growth for Benelli itself, what are your projections?
So I think it's probably better I break that up into two halves. I think if I look at the non-Imperiale portfolio, we will look to grow at about 20 to 25% year on year, without a doubt. I think we are just getting started. We are just growing our network. We're just introducing new products to our portfolio. We have no doubt we'll do that. When it comes to Imperiale, obviously we expect the numbers to be a very large multiple of what we are doing with the rest of the portfolio right now. And I think you'll start seeing some very serious number of customers joining the Benelli family soon.
In terms of expansion, what are your targets in terms of the number of dealerships and the service centers that you'll have?
Sure. So as of today, we have about 25-26 outlets spread across 25 cities for sales and service. Right. So we have a situation where we are trying to get into as many cities as possible. By the end of next year, our ambition is to get into about 80 to 100 outlets across the country, and this also will cover close to 50 to 60 unique cities. So the idea is that we want to increase our geographical spread as much as possible, so that if a Benelli customer happens to be riding long distance, he is not too far from a Benelli service point.
In the past, things didn't go very well with Benelli, and now things are being fixed. So what steps have been taken to ensure that such things don't happen again in the future?
Sure. So the greatest learning comes from your mistakes and what happened in the past. So we've obviously taken stock of that, and going forward we want to build this brand around the customer. So we're trying to understand what actually brings value to a customer, and certain things that we've identified is good quality service, total cost of ownership, and the riding experience and everything else around brand Benelli. So these are three pillars that we are kind of concentrating on and basing all our decisions based on this. So we believe that by following this way, we will hopefully not repeat some of the mistakes we might have made in the past.
Can we expect Benelli to come down further below the 400cc market and democratize its products even more?
So we have various products that are currently under R&D, and a lot of these products are in between the 250cc and the 400cc space. We strongly believe that the 250 to 500cc space is going to see huge growth in the Indian market over the next couple of years, and that is definitely going to be our focus area as well. And I think through 2020 and 2021 you will see more products from Benelli in that space.
Can you name a few? I mean, if that's not
No,
something
I
that
mean,
cannot be disclosed.
so we've honestly, like I said, they're all in R&D, so there are no names. These are not bikes that are existing in the global market. So these are bikes which are again specifically being designed keeping the Indian market, and because of the volumes that are possible in the Indian market, you will probably see these bikes then going to the global market. So we're kind of turning the strategy around over here. So far, we've always brought to India bikes that were traditionally sold across the European markets and Southeastern Asian markets. With Imperiale, this is already the first step where a bike has been made keeping India in mind, and we have seen such great response. We feel very confident about developing more products, keeping the Indian market in mind, and maybe making them available globally.
In terms of service, what you have done is you are giving 5 years unlimited warranty on some of your products,
Yeah.
and in fact all of your products
Yeah.
except for the Imperiale,
Yeah.
which is a lower cost product. So I guess it's a little bit difficult for you to offer that warranty there. So lower pricing for the products despite them being international products.
Yeah.
And despite that, giving warranties which are much higher than the rest
Yeah.
of the industry.
Yeah.
And then giving free service also.
Yeah.
So does that not affect your bottom lines, because it's a very, very difficult market anyway, and if you really compare the prices of some other similar products which are also CKD, by the way,
Sure.
the prices of those products are still quite high.
Sure.
So
sure.
your prices are lower and you are giving great warranties. So what exactly is the idea behind this scheme of doing business?
Sure. So we have a very long-term perspective on the Indian market. I think it would be incorrect if we tried to make our presence felt in the Indian market if we purely looked at it from a financial year point of view, if we purely looked at it from a bottom line point of view and things like that. Decisions cannot be made purely just on the financials. Right. Of course, you cannot turn away from them, but we have given more importance to the fact that we had to offer a product at a price point that we believe, like I said, offers great value for money. The reason for giving 3 years unlimited kilometer warranty, this is again the best in the industry, to give 2 years of free service, is basically give our customers the peace of mind with respect to the after sales part of Benelli. Like I said, it is one of the pillars that we want to be working on very hard. So truly, when somebody buys into brand Benelli or buys into Imperiale 400, we don't want them to worry about the total cost of ownership. We want them to just enjoy the motorcycle. We want them to bring more people into the Benelli family, and I'm very sure that that this will help us achieve volumes. Bottom line is something that can definitely be worked out. So,
which one is your favorite motorcycle from the Benelli lineup in India?
So that's a difficult one over there, but I must say I had the chance to ride the Imperiale 400 in Ladakh a couple of months back, and we were a little careful over there because it was the first time we were testing the bike in such difficult conditions, but I think that made the bike so much more enjoyable. We were able to push the bike to limits that we didn't think we could. That in fact gave us a lot more confidence about the product that we have on hand over here. So I think the Imperiale 400 would probably be
very accessible.
My pick for the. Absolutely, it's really easy. It's easy for anyone to get onto it. It can be a daily commuting bike. Like I said, we took it to Ladakh. We've had people off-roading today. So it truly is a bike that can pretty much do everything.
What do you have to say to our viewers who might want to be buying into the brand Benelli and they have some apprehensions? What do you want to say to them?
Guys, I think you should just get into the closest Benelli facility that you can find, get onto a bike, test drive the bike. We've been doing a lot of things to make sure that you have complete peace of mind, and I am sure you will not regret the experience. I look forward to welcoming you to the Benelli family.
Vikas is young, he's energetic and he's dashing, and I wish him all the best.
Thank you.
With all his efforts, and I really think that in the Imperiale 400 they have a fantastic product.
Thank you.
And I really believe that this is going to sell in great numbers. Thank you very much for
Thanks a
your
lot.
time.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Cheers.